Hey, I'm Carlo, and today's video is going to be about 5 essential tools to help make your videos look and sound more professional. The first piece of gear that is a must-have for me is this right here, Atmosphere Aerosol. This comes in an 8-ounce bottle. It is a hazer. So this bottle in particular I use as a replacement for bigger machines, bigger hazer, foggers, any sort of liquids that you have to put in machines. So this is a great cheap alternative to having that big machine. I bought a pack of 6 from Amazon for about 67 bucks, something like that. 6 of these 8-ounce cans. I think that's a fair price considering how much you're actually getting out of these 6 bottles. One bottle could usually last me maybe 2 shoots depending on how much I'm actually using and how much I'm spraying consistently. But in a confined space without much ventilation or air, it will stay in the location for a while. But if you're shooting in an outside location, you'll have to spray continuously. This, highly recommend if you want to get a softer looking image. The blacks will be lifted a little bit, just because it won't be so contrasty. But yeah, this is a great alternative to getting a big hazer machine. Atmosphere Aerosol Spray, highly recommend to get your image to look a bit more cinematic. Second piece of gear that is a must-have for me is this right here, Neewer bicolor LED light. This is a super cheap and affordable bicolor light. The light ranges from 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin. The batteries did come separately. These batteries that fit I have are the MPF 550s. I bought these on Amazon as well too with the charger, about $30 or so, which isn't too bad. This light, how it comes with barn doors, is great because you could actually shape the light to any kind of position that you would like. If you want it to be more of a spotlight, you can close the barn doors, or if you want it wide open, you can open the barn doors. Another reason why I like these lights a lot is because they are super lightweight. You can kind of bring these on any shoot. They don't take up very much room, or they're just not a pain to carry around. This light is great, especially if you add a white diffusion in front of it. Adding a white diffusion in front of this light will give your image a softer look, whether it's shooting an interview like this. I have a Godox light on here with a softbox. That's why it's giving me this soft light on my face. But if I were to put just this light directly on my face, the shadows would be extremely harsh looking and it wouldn't be very pleasing. But if I were to stand this light up and put a piece of white diffusion or cloth in front of it, that would soften the light coming to my face, which would kind of smooth out the shadows around the edges and make it more of an appealing image and flattering look on the person. Bought these on Amazon, 2 lights, 2 stands, and they came with batteries. They were about $185 or so, and that's fairly cheap for LED lights, but they are great and they work really well, especially if you're on a budget. But I wouldn't count these out because these are great, especially if you want to use it for a harsh light and a soft light with added diffusion as well. Third piece of gear that I find to be essential is this, the Rosco color effects kit. I recently picked these up and I found it to be absolutely game changer. For about 30 bucks or so on Amazon, you get about 15 colors, a wide variety of sheets here that you can place over the Neewer light that I just showed you. And in particular, this scene that I'm about to share is from a short film that I'm working on. Kind of a working title, but it's a short little thriller horror film. Featuring my girlfriend Angelica and my sister Gianna. As you can see here, the lights are very stylized, whether it's the red, blues, or hints of orange. Now, they weren't placed really like professionally or anything. I just gaffed them up, kind of just put them, and they worked perfectly fine. But yeah, these are great, super affordable. Ranges pretty much all the colors: orange, red, blue, green, yellow, purple, all of the colors. For about 30 bucks or so, and it's awesome. It gives you just another way to express yourself through visual and color, which I find to be absolutely awesome. So yeah, this is the third piece of gear that I find to be extremely useful and beneficial to expanding your creativity. And the fourth piece of gear that I have here is not the most exciting at all, but it is crucial. It is the tripod. This tripod in particular that I own is the Manfrotto 055 aluminum body. It's a bit on the pricier side only for the fact that I do have my expensive camera on top of it, and I need something to hold the weight and for it to be sturdy, especially if it's windy or unstable conditions on the ground. I can't have a cheap tripod holding my expensive camera gear. So this tripod, is around $299. It is the Manfrotto 055 aluminum. They also have a carbon fiber body, which is way more lightweight, but it's a little bit on the pricier end. I also bought an additional tripod head, Manfrotto 502AH. This one runs around $135 or so. And this one is more so geared towards the video movement. It has a longer handle at the back end for smoother movements. I can adjust the tightness or looseness of the arm so I can move it fluidly or abruptly as I please. So this is an essential piece of gear that I know is not the most creative fulfilling or anything, but having a tripod, especially a sturdy reliable tripod, is great to have, especially when you want to incorporate stills in your story. So yeah, tripod is the fourth piece of gear that I find to be super essential. The fifth and final piece of gear that is super essential but often forgotten by younger filmmakers is audio gear. Depending on your budget, you could buy a boom or condenser mic, which is great for interviews like this or podcasts or live sound for your recording. But I have two pieces of gear that are super affordable that give you great audio results. And the first is the Zoom H1N. This runs about $149 or so. It's a one-channel stereo microphone. There are two mics here to pick up stereo. It is on-camera mountable, so you can put this on your camera. It has a headphone jack, line in, and you could put your SD card, micro SD card in here. Quick tip though, the micro SD card can only go up to 32 gigabytes. If you have a 64 gigabyte micro SD card, it will not work in this machine. So yeah, this is a great piece of gear, especially if you are a beginner filmmaker, if you do weddings or anything like that. This could be a great backup piece of audio gear to ensure that you don't forget any audio or miss anything. If you have a little bit more money to spend on audio gear, I highly recommend looking into this piece of gear right here, the Zoom H5 field recorder. It is a 4-track recorder, stereo microphones. It has 2 XLR or TRS inputs. So you could hook up your condenser microphone into this recorder, turn on phantom mode inside the H5 to power the mic, and you could record directly into here. Or if you are out in the field and you wanted to record, say, footsteps or any sort of Foley, you have onboard stereo mics here that are replaceable by pressing these two buttons and taking it off. You could put different add-ons here they offer, but the sound quality is great for the price, and it gives you an enhanced audio experience instead of just using what you have on your camera. So I definitely recommend looking into this if you have a little bit more of a budget for audio, because audio will definitely take your video to the next level, especially if done right. Alright, so those are the 5 pieces of gear that I find to be super useful and beneficial to me and I use pretty often. Hopefully you guys found something useful out of this video, and maybe you could look into some of these things to help enhance your creative experience. So thank you, hope you got something out of this, and have a good day. Bye.